Hello guys, welcome back to Piping Engineers. So guys, we are back with our new video in which today's video we will be discussing about the plumbing interview questions. The questions which can be asked in a plumbing interview. For better experience, watch the video at 1.5x speed, and for other videos please like, follow and subscribe to our channel. So let's begin our today's learning journey. Hope after this video you will definitely be more confident for a plumbing interview. So the first slide or the first question which can be asked in a plumbing interview is what is the cause of low pressure on upper floors? अपर फ्लोर्स जो ऊंचे वाले फ्लोर्स होते हैं वहां पे लो प्रेशर होने का क्या कारण हो सकता है? So guys, the first thing or the first option is elevation head loss. So when water pressure decreases approximately 0.433 psi per foot as water rises due to the gravity. So the concept highlights the concept of elevation head loss because the head loss is directly proportional to the elevation, and the static head comes into the picture when the water is going into for a height. So understanding this concept help technicians distinguishing between the structural causes like the elevation system and the system related issues. So the importance of pressure measurement is very important. Measuring pressure at water entry helps to identify if low pressure is due to elevation or system issues. So understand the concept. If you know the pressure, at what pressure your water is entering into the building, and then supposingly with the help of calculations you can determine at the highest point that at what pressure the water should be at. So common misdiagnoses are, you should avoid premature fixture replacements by first checking the walls, aerators and pump capacity for pressure issues, because there are sometimes the cases the water is not getting reached at the top floor, maybe because the system has some air trapped inside it. So start with the calculation, start with the wall openings, and start with if there is some air trapped between the pipings or not. So all these things will help you towards the correct analysis of the problem of low pressure at upper floors. Moving on to the next slide. So what is the cause of pipe banging when washing machine stops? So this question, it addresses the classic plumbing fault known as water hammer. So guys, you would have seen that when we stop a valve suddenly, so there is this sudden movement in the pipe and the pipe starts hammering. So that is called water hammering. So the water hammering occurs when rapidly closing a valve, again such as in washing machines or dishwashers. So basically it is the sudden closure of valves, so which sends the shocks to the system because the water flow is stopped abruptly. So it generates a high pressure shocking wave that travels through the pipe network. So what happens, this is the this what happens, this is a surge. Because of this surge there is a loud banging or rattling sound. So you would have seen the pipe started banging like this, or rattling sound occurs, and sometimes it is felt like what has happened. And so this system is done, and because of which the stress in the pipes can be it can be very high, and it can damage the pipe fittings, it can loosen the fasteners over time. So this is the question, this is the problem. So what is the solution? So the correct solution is, installing the water hammer arresters. So when you install the water hammer arresters near fixture cushions, it will stop your problematic problem, and it will ensure that proper air cushioning is there to absorb the surge. So the explanation also, reinforces the need to check for excessive static pressure, which can aggravate the issue. So being a candidate for an interview, you need to learn the difference between water hammer and other issues, let's say air pockets or undersized piping, thereby enhancing the diagnostic accuracy. So the water hammer can be a very big problem at a because it will generate the fatigue stresses and the system can collapse at a later date. So it's a very big issue. But being a plumbing engineer or a plumber, you need to know that the effects, how to solve those effects and how to take care of it. Moving on to the next slide. So what is the source of bathroom odor without leaks? So you would have seen few bathrooms where there is a very dirty or bad smell coming, and because the leakage is not physically seen inside the bathroom. So the slide focuses on diagnosing the severe odor problem despite the absence of visible leak. So there is no leakage seen, but the smell is there. So the correct response is, when this question is asked you in an interview, so the trap seal retains 2 to 4 inches of water to block severe gases and prevent bathroom odors effectively. So you should use this trap seal. So if the trap dries out due to evaporation or maybe siphoning effect or pure venting, so odors, what happens, they escape into the room. So because if the trap seal is not working properly, so the odors will be in the bathroom. So technicians must verify vent lines for blockages. You must check that vent lines for blockages by debris. So sometimes the vent lines get blocked by debris, may stones or some other particles, birds, nest, or improper installation can be issue. The explanation, it highlights the importance of trap primers. Trap primers keep floor drain traps filled with water, especially in seldom used bathrooms, preventing odor issues. So replacing S traps with P traps is also a function. So it also discusses consequence of S traps which are prone to self-siphoning. So S traps are self-siphoning and lose water seal. Replacing them with P traps ensures stable water retentions and odor control. So this can be a solution at a later date. Maybe if you find something not correct in your investigation. Moving on to the next slide. So the question is, you would have seen a shower becomes cold when someone opens the another tap. It's a very very common problem, and people generally comes out to for this problem. So what happens? So this question is a pure example of pressure imbalance as the root cause of sudden temperature shift in showers. So when pressure changes between hot and cold water lines, it causes sudden shower temperature fluctuations during the fixture use. So when another fixture opens, pressure distribution between hot and cold lines changes, which causes thermostatic mixing valves to deliver fluctuating temperatures. It's a very normal issue, but customers are certainly not liking it. So the explanation in this is that the mineral buildup in check screens or partially restricted hot lines can worsen the imbalance. So what we have to do, thermostatic mixing valves can be provide a solution by maintaining a preset temperature through internal sensors and regulators. So being a candidate, you should learn the mechanics of mixing valves. Mixing valves is a very important thing. The effect of differential pressure on blended output and common corrective actions, steps such as cleaning cartridges or replacing outdated valves. So what will happen because of this, you will be understanding the behavior of both hydraulic behavior and fixture level troubleshooting. I hope this is clear because this is a very general problem which comes into picture in day in day out life. Moving on to the next question, guys. So what is the cause of pipe pinhole leaks in copper pipes especially? So the problem is corrosion. So copper is very sensitive material, pinhole leaks result from erosion and corrosion caused by high velocity, if the fluid movement, pure fittings are there and water chemistry is not proper or imbalances are there. Warning signs are early signs include, blue-green stains on the copper and metallic water taste and localized dampness and around the pipes. So this is one of the thing because after this the pipe is going to get a pinhole, that is the warning sign. Preventive solutions can be involve repiping with type L copper or PX and maintaining flow velocities below recommended limits. So then the velocity will be less and the debris movement will be less, and then your pipes can stand longer. Moving on to the next one. So first test for electric heater with no hot water. So what happens is, so this slide covers the diagnostics for electric water heaters that stop producing the hot water. So you have to check it. So the correct answer is, you have to test the heating element resistance. It represents a standard electrical troubleshooting step. So this is the first step, we can get it done with the help of electrician. So the explanation is basically it tells you how heating elements fail due to mineral scalp building. So you would have seen the heating element of a rod or electric rod gets some that mineral scalp built on it. Overheating can be an example, aging or leading of loss due to heating function. So all these things can happen. Additional diagnostic checks, you check the high limit reset button. That is very important. Thermostat settings is important because then the cutoff will be at correct temperature, and electrical continuity for thorough diagnosis. But again, being a plumber, I don't know, we should really get into this, but you should take the help of the electrician, so that there is no issue in getting the hot water out from the of the your heater, electric heater. Moving on to the next one. So there are two showers, one sink need 5 GPM. What must be the tankless heater support? So this question teaches the proper sizing of tankless water heaters based on flow rate and temperature rise. So the correct answer here is that the heater must deliver the total simultaneous flow, in this case 5 gallons per minute, at the required temperature determined by inlet temperature conditions. So what happens that tankless systems have performance curves, you would be knowing, and undersizing results in lukewarm water or system cycling. So what happens, this is because the inlet water temperatures are low. In winters the inlet water temperatures lower heater output capacity, making correct sizing crucial. So the correct sizing is very important, because if the correct sizing is not done, it is for sure you will not get the proper heat water. And load calculation fundamentals is you should understand the flow rate and temperature rise, because then only you can be able to calculate the accurate load, and specification review should be there. Otherwise you will not be able to make a or select a proper heating temperature, proper heater, so which will be able to provide you the water. So the what is the causes of running toilet showing dye in bowl? So this is a question that explains dye appearing in the toilet bowl during a dye test indicates leakage past the flapper or flush valve sheet. So you would have seen this glittery yellow color. So such leakages, they tells you that there is large amount of water that comes out of the flappers, because of maybe the rubber is worn out, or the misaligned chains, scalp building is there, or wrapped valve seats. So this as a candidate, you should be able to differentiate between the fill valve issues associated with overflow tube wetness and flapper problems. It affects the sealing interface directly. So this question is very important, because it promotes essential troubleshooting in common residential plumbing fixtures. So you guys should be aware of it, because people will generally come to you with all these sort of problems in residential plumbing fixtures at least. Moving on to the next and the last question for today. So backflow protection is 100% required for which case? So the correct answer is garden hose for chemicals. So hose bib plus chemicals is equal to high contamination risk. So hose bibs are used for chemical spraying, you know this. So the explanation tells you that the chemical aspirators or pesticide attachments can create high risk back siphonage events. So to prevent this contamination of potable water, vacuum breakers or approved backflow prevention devices must be installed. If not, then there can be high chances that your potable water gets leakage. So you should able to identify high hazard situations and understand the critical public health protections mandated by the plumbing codes. If you are not aware of the plumbing codes, then you should go through the plumbing codes first, and then start your job. So these were the questions that we wanted to discuss today. So if you have come till here, I guess you would have learned something. In our next video we will make this video in Hindi also. Please comment in Hindi if you want to see the video in Hindi. For more videos, please like, follow and subscribe to our channel. So thanks for watching the video.